what if Disney could license
Yeah.
one of these pieces of art? And that's where like my brain started saying, okay, you know what? I think we got something here. I don't think this is the end of the road, but I do think it's the beginning. And yeah, I just, quickly became bullish about the whole concept of like artists need to get
Mhm.
royalties on, what they build.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back to another episode of Phantom Edge. I have a very special guest here today. It's July. He is a CEO and co-founder of NettyWorth, and I'm very honored to have you here, man. Thank you for joining me.
Yeah, no, thank you. Super excited to talk about the market and so forth. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. So we'll get right into it. I know I've spoken to you before. I know you come from the traditional fintech scene, and now you're in
Yes.
crypto Web3, right? Can you discuss a little bit about, what got you into crypto in the first place, and what was like that turning point? Like, okay, I should definitely pay attention to this market.
Yeah, so I believe it was about 3 years ago. Again, I was a marketing director at a Web2 fintech that did payment processing for merchants. And basically, I was introduced into NFTs. And I think during that time, a lot of people were still like, speculating if this was something that was going to be big or not. And basically, I looked at the market and it reminded me of actually baseball cards.
Mm,
So, being a baseball card collector since I was a child, I basically linked a lot of the whole collecting process to that. So it kind of clicked for me
yeah.
in a way where I understood, hey, there's going to be some collections that are going to be more scarce than others. Some communities, just like, let's say, a baseball player or a basketball player, is going to have a bigger fan base. And basically, through there, right, a bigger community could be built. And then I started looking at it like from a marketing sense of like
Yeah.
IP. Like,
Mhm.
hold on, how about if this is a logo, right? Or what if Disney could license
Yeah.
one of these pieces of art? And that's where like my brain started saying, okay, you know what? I think we got something here. I don't think this is the end of the road, but I do think it's the beginning. And yeah, I just, quickly became bullish about the whole concept of like artists need to get
Mhm.
royalties on, what they build. And also like this new wave of art, right? Because
Mhm.
digital art was always looked down at,
Mhm.
right? And it was only until probably a year and a half ago where like Christie's and the whole Beeple thing happened,
Yeah.
where NFTs became solidified, right?
Absolutely.
But for me, again, I'm a millennial, but like I believe in my generation, we did value art in multiple ways. I mean, listen, the '80s era valued graffiti.
Yeah.
So again, I thought this was something that was definitely going to be big. Did I know it was going to be as big as quickly? No, right? This market became 40 billion plus market pretty quick. But yeah, super bullish about it. What got me into like the the big moment was the first Board Ape party in
Okay.
Brooklyn.
Okay. The
That
eight fest.
was that Ape Fest. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
the first Ape Fest in New York.
Mhm.
I was like, whoa, this is big energy, and I don't think the world knows what's coming.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And by the way, I was in the collection and I was like super excited,
Yeah.
but it was only when I felt that energy of holders. I was getting people that were coming up and they were like, what mutant version you got? And I got us, I got the serum, I got this M2, and it had nothing to do with money.
Yeah.
I know a big thing on Twitter and social media is that they think, hey, Bored Ape is money, right?
Yeah.
And in reality, I could tell you the community doesn't even talk about floor prices or anything like that. And again, it's one of uh, a bunch of great communities,
Absolutely.
you know?
Yeah. No, it's
Yeah.
interesting too. I like the fact that you mentioned that you found a connect from something you grew up doing, which was trading baseball cards, right? And I think sometimes in the space we overcomplicate things, right? Sometimes we come in like, oh, this new technology, but it's like patterns that we've seen from human evolution. So
Yeah.
I really like that take, man. Thank you. So I know now you said you left your traditional fintech, your marketing role to build what now is NettyWorth, right?
Yeah,
Being a
yep.
builder in the space takes a lot of courage, so I commend you for that. And I want to know what's one piece of advice that you can give to other builders or aspiring builders wanting to build in this space?
Yeah, so I mean it's this is
Yeah.
that's like a super long combo, but I think right off the back, yeah, I mean I think build fast. This is something I just recently put on Twitter is you're supposed to
Mhm.
move at one speed, fast, faster, fastest,
Yeah.
right? And build fast, but I think for anyone building on Web3, and honestly, like this is at the top, talk to users, right?
Mm.
And I'll give you an example of when we launched NettyWorth,
Yeah.
and we're building 5 years out, right? But
Yeah.
so we're building things currently and also things that are very long term. And we did a customer survey and we said, what are things that you as a user would
Mhm.
like to see on a platform, or how do you like to use this, or is this more important, is lending more important, is credit more important to you, all these things, right?
Yeah.
And again, just to let everyone know, NettyWorth allows users to basically manage their digital assets, right? So
Yeah.
we're talking to a specific user. They have NFTs, they have crypto, and what we found out in this survey is the user wanted dark mode,
Mm.
which we all know, right? They
Yeah.
toggle from light to dark. Something very simple. Again, I'm
Yeah.
the CEO. I'm thinking of like implement
Yeah.
features that are super valuable, right? Dark mode was in there. There's we I'll give you an example. We said, how often do you check
Mm.
NFT prices versus crypto prices?
Yeah.
And again, it was just a general question. We found that the average user checks crypto prices almost 4 times more often
Mm.
than NFT prices. So
Yeah.
what did we do? We added crypto into our mobile platform and our desktop platform. And with one button, you can now see all your crypto and also
Mm.
take a look at what's moving and all that. Again, we're a Web3, right,
Yeah.
company that allows the user to manage their asset, but we
Yeah.
weren't thinking that they actually want to go see their crypto prices. And I
Yeah.
say that because the assumption is, what do you mean? Why use us for that when you have it everywhere? The issue is that users don't want to go to multiple places to get the
Mhm.
same information. So taking a step back there, something so simple and obvious,
Yeah.
right? Here we're building all these things. A user wants to see crypto prices on a daily basis,
Mhm.
and they wanted to have dark mode, and that's how they enjoyed it. Personally, I don't use dark mode, right?
Mm.
So again, this is, I would say, to artists, developers, anyone that's out there, talk to your users,
Mm.
find out what they're interested in. I've said this multiple times from an artist perspective. Most collectors tend to collect things that are colorful,
Mhm.
doodles, right? A
Mhm.
squiggle,
Mhm.
right? Checks,
Yeah.
right? Like you could see a pattern here. So why make an NFT that's just black,
Yeah.
right? I'm not saying it won't work, but maybe talk to your user, because as an artist, don't confine yourself to just one way of creating,
Yeah.
right? And that's what I would put out there. Again, whether you're developing a platform or you're
Yeah.
an artist, talk to the user, talk to collectors. It doesn't benefit anyone for artists to talk to artists, and
Mhm.
for people that are
Yeah.
developing to only talk to developers. Talk to your users, and that's what I would say, it's at the top of the list.
It's powerful because, even talking to the users is a simple act, but it's just tedious because, we're like you said, being a builder, you're focused on the 5 year plan, but it's like, oh wait, dark mode, that's low hanging fruit. We could do that tomorrow, right? And that's
Yeah,
what they love. So
that's what happened.
I love it, man, and it's powerful. So yeah, thank you for your insight. The next question, I know
Yep,
you're a big NFT enthusiast, right? You've shared a little bit about it already. I know you're holder of obviously Bored Ape Yacht Club, Mutants. You have
yep,
some checks. You're doing a giveaway too. So
yeah.
I want to know, like, what do you think's the future for NFTs from a technological standpoint, consumer, whatever, whatever rabbit hole you want to go to. What do you think the future of NFTs look like?
Yeah. So I believe that art is just the foundation of the of where we're at, right?
Mhm.
Recently, California announced that they would consider even NFTs as card titles,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? What do I see? I see contracts being done as an NFT. I see ticket sales being done
Hmm.
as an NFT. This is something Gary V has, preached earlier on. I think people didn't really understand that concept.
Yeah.
And I'll touch on that. But yeah, I think ticket sales, I think your flight, I think there's so
Hmm.
many things because people don't understand that there's so many aspects to an asset or something being tradable, right?
Hmm.
So if me and you go to let's say to a Lakers game,
Yeah.
and that was the game that LeBron James passed the historical scoring title,
Yeah.
right? So let's say there's only about 35,000 tickets. Well, now you could own a ticket
Yeah.
that actually was at the game, right? So maybe
Yeah.
you weren't there, but there's a historical value. So think of, I look at it as the technology that's going to fuel contracts, collectibles, and assets,
Okay.
cars, houses, watches,
Mhm.
and then collectible sporting events. I think it's gonna be huge. Would if I'm a big Prince fan,
Hmm.
would I collect the last concert ticket that Prince went to?
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
again, right, like I'm not a giant Prince fan, right? But
For the
just to put it
context of
out there,
example, yeah.
yeah, so yeah, super bullish on the technology, and I don't think there's any slowing the art side. So I don't
Mhm.
also want to dismiss that. We basically are almost leveled with traditional art prices.
Hmm. Hmm.
With the traditional art market in general. So yeah, I just think this is all big.
Yeah.
Yeah, super
Yeah.
bullish on what's coming there.
I like the different verticals you mentioned, right? From tickets to still collecting assets. I like the fact that you mentioned assets as a separate class too, because California could be leading that way. And it's very interesting to see these people actually experimenting. So yeah, man, I like that take. The last thing I ask you,
Yeah.
man, I ask everyone is what is July bullish on in 2023 and beyond?
Yeah, so this is going to be a little bit different than where the market has been. Uh, I would say looking at 2023, I think there's going to be a lot of artists that are going to be creating one of one pieces.
Mm,
I mean, if you've been following some of the collectors, Vincent Van Gogh obviously is one. I mean, there are some artists that are going to come out of this bear market
hmm.
as blue chip artists, right?
Hmm.
In the sense of they build a name for themselves and they're recognized. I think
Hmm.
a lot of people that are hesitant about the current space, right? Obviously, we know the entire market, the global market took a hit, but
Yeah.
uh, I don't think things are going to get better and then you're going to see more new blue chips. I think the most amount of blue chips are going to come from this bear market.
Hmm.
Who's really here? Who's really developing? You're creating content. The guy that's going to come in and create content 2 years from now because the market is hot,
Yeah.
he's coming. He's starting way late. So I'm very bullish about the creators,
Hmm.
the people creating content,
Yeah.
and the artists that are developing now,
Yeah.
not later, right? And because I think it's going to count in the next 2 years.
Yeah.
That's my outlook on that.
It's safe to say that it might be the year of the creator slash artist, right? So,
Yeah,
ongoing. So,
yeah,
yeah,
100%.
yeah, no, awesome, man. Oh, so thank you, July. I mean, I think you shared a lot of insight and hindsight knowledge that you've been going through as a builder, man. I'll say it again. I commend your work. I thank you
Thank
for your
you.
time, man. And yeah, I'm excited too, man. There's a lot of things to look forward to this year, from the whole ecosystem as a whole. So that said, man, thank you so much for sharing some time with me today, man. And we'll stay in touch.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.